Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot, or if you are new here, of course, welcome to Lone Pine Tarot for the very first time. Thank you for joining me today for our pick a card reading, and when I was trying to decide our topic today, the keywords that came to mind were comfort and relief, so that is why we are talking about what challenge is finally ending in your life and how. So hopefully by the end of this reading, you'll have either a smile on your face or at least a little bit of a breath of relief to release. So without further ado, let us pick our pile leaders to choose the piles with. Using the Folklore Oracle today, connecting to Spirit for our highest, best good. Could you please guide us to the right cards for their piles today? Thank you. Okay, for pile 1 today, feeling this one right there. Now for pile 2, that one. And last but not least, pile 3. There we go, right there. And let's unveil the cards together. So for my wonderful pile 1 today over here on the left, we have, and forgive me if I completely butcher the pronunciation, but Leannan seed, something like that. If anyone knows Gaelic languages, feel free to correct me on the pronunciation of that, but Leannan seed. There we go. So that's pile 1, the beautiful red hair. Pile 2 here in the middle, we have the Hare. Okay. That one I can pronounce. A lot easier for me, but. And then last but not least, for our wonderful pile 3 over here on the right, oopsie, we have, another animal. We have the hawk. There we go. So yes, pile 1. The name I absolutely cannot pronounce, Leannan. Pile 2 is Hare, and pile 3 is the hawk. Though, of course, you're always welcome to pause on this part of the reading if you need more time to decide what pile you would like read for you today. But whatever your choice or however long it takes you to decide, take as much time as you need. You can drop down to the description box below or the top pinned comment beneath the reading. Find the timestamp there for your pile. Of course, click on it, and then I will see you in our little chat about what challenge in your life is finally resolving and how. See you there. Hello there, pile number 1. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about clearing a challenge and how that will come about in your life. As you recall, your pile leader, and I looked it up, it's pronounced Leannan, so I was sort of right with the she part, but it was a bit shaky, so I just made sure to look it up. But yes, Leannan was your pile leader with the beautiful long red hair. So we'll set your pile leader over here to the left to begin, as we usually do. And I want to start with our Lenormand and Tarot today. So let's draw those cards to see what area of your life this particular challenge stems from. So we have that card. And then for Tarot today, we're using the Forest of Enchantment. Okay, so 5 cards, there's one. Definitely going to take these 2 as well. And this one. Okay, so let's look at the Lenormand and Tarot. So for your Lenormand today, pile 1, you received the Fortress. Okay. And the Fortress is all about authority, protection, things like that. Interesting. We'll put that up here, and then we'll unveil your tarot cards as well to begin. First card is the 8 of Cups. A little bit of a picture forming here. Second card is the Child of Pentacles, or Page of Pentacles in most decks. Someone tempted and lured by the candy house. Almost gives you a Hansel Gretel vibe, right? Third card is the Ace of Pentacles. 4th, the Forest Lord, or the Emperor. And last but not least, your 5th card is the Fairy Wind, which is the Chariot in most decks. So let's look over your cards, pile 1, and identify more of the situation at hand. So what I am seeing with the challenge that's going to be resolved soon, it's either something to deal with an authority in your life that has been failing you or has been blocking you from something or hasn't been protecting what they need to protect, or it's something along the lines of you trying to protect yourself from something. And I say that because the Lenormand card with the Fortress, as I said before, is something to do with like authority or protection. You know, we see like a walled city here. So it's all about protecting what is ours, making sure that everything that we have is safe. Sometimes that's good in the way that you can use that or those qualities to protect yourself. Sometimes it's bad because it's someone else or the authority figure, like I was saying, or it could even be a group of people, it doesn't have to be just one, are keeping you out of something that you should be allowed into. So it's something along those lines I'm hearing. And, you know, using your pile leader as another little scrap of detail, the Leannan Shi in this deck represents inspiration, wanting to get a task done, and not just the excitement half of inspiration, but also the get up and go motivation of inspiration. So it almost feels like maybe you've been lacking motivation lately because some sort of authority figure has failed you, or you're kind of sick of having to protect yourself in some way. And it's like you kind of just want the problem to be done with. You want to move on, especially because of the 8 of Cups here is the very first, I call it the inciting incident card in this particular spread. The 8 of Cups is wanting to emotionally move on from something. You're like, I'm done. I just want to move forward. I want to keep this in the past. And maybe part of the challenge, pile 1, is that it keeps reiterating itself and you're sitting there like, oh, when can I just get rid of this? Like, I'm completely just, I want this to be in my rearview mirror. I want to move forward. Okay. Then we have the Page of Pentacles, and then of course the Ace of Pentacles as the heart of the matter is what I call it, or also sometimes I read that as the present position. What's going to happen is, after a time of exploring your opportunities, especially in the realm of, because if you have so many pentacles or boons, they're known in this deck, the realm of finance and career. So maybe this is specifically like a career thing for you, pile 1. After exploring those opportunities and seeing, you know, what's available to you and trying to sift through the different choices you have in order to get away from whatever this is, an opportunity is going to present itself soon. That's what the Ace of Pentacles is all about. It says something on the material plane, because it's the element of earth being pentacles, comes forward, is offered to you, almost like the frog offering the ring here. It's kind of a cute depiction, and gives you a token to move away from whatever this is, this authority that's failed you, this thing that keeps kind of trying to bypass your boundaries, things like that. Okay. And then the future cards are both the near future with the Emperor, and then the outcome I read is the very last card. That is the Chariot today. So what I'm seeing with that is, after that opportunity is presented to you, pile 1, to finally move away from this, we'll just call it garbage, right? The things that you don't like, you want to emotionally move on from. It's either, because the Emperor can represent a person, and specifically pile 1, it can represent a masculine energy person, because it's literally the card of, you know, fatherhood. It's the card of masculine energy in general. It's the card of authority and power. So it could literally be, it's that masculine figure coming in, maybe even literally your father that comes along and helps you with this. Or it could also mean stepping into your own power and your own masculine energy to push past after you've been given that opportunity. And now all of a sudden, you know, once again, I'll just reiterate. Remember, authority is mentioned twice here, pile 1. You got authority here, but you've also got authority here. It switches to the other foot. Now the power will be in your hands at that point, and then you can move forward finally. It's like this really stagnant energy here with the 8 of Cups of like, oh God, I just want to move on. And then boom, the Chariot is a really good outcome card when it comes to wanting forward momentum. Okay, it says the fairy wind in this particular card, right? But the Chariot typically is depicted as a man on a literal chariot with a black and a white horse in front of him. He's got control of the reins. He's moving forward at a steady, controlled pace, and he's making progress. Okay, so progress really is the outcome of everything here, especially if you've been feeling really stagnant and like things are like, I just want to get past this, as I was saying before. I won't repeat that too much, but you know your situation better than I do, but that is what I'm seeing with the cards. So that really is what comes along. I want to know kind of what this Ace of Pentacles is. I want to know what the opportunity that comes about is. And of course, like I said, it'll be different for every single one of you, but let me pull one more Lenormand card to get a glimpse into what the opportunity is so that you have your eyes open for it when it comes along. Because right now, like I said, it's heart of the matter, but it's also the present card. I think it's going to happen like any day now, or maybe even happen today, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, that, Lone Pine, that already kind of occurred, so I know what you're talking about. But for some of you, it might be kind of within the next few days to a week or something like that. So Spirit, if you could give us one Lenormand card, what is the opportunity being offered that helps them get past this? I'm feeling this one right here, the home, or the house. And the house in Lenormand is all about, safety being offered. Literally, it could be, a home. Maybe you're actually even moving away from where this isn't a problem anymore, this authority issue or this protection issue. It could also mean, pile one, like a feeling of comfort. But I want to say it's either a literal home for you, or it's like you're offered a protection or a safety of some sort. And the home can literally also mean someone at home. So that can mean, once again, maybe a father figure you kind of associate with home, right? It could also mean just a masculine energy in your life that you live with might also present that opportunity, okay? Very interesting. I'm looking at your pile leader again here just for one moment. Yeah, it's like, as I said before, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating, but it's like wanting to get a task done, like I'm finished with this, but also needing the tools and the motivation to get past it. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at your oracle cards next. I want to have maybe some more advice for you in this situation. We'll get maybe even more of a glimpse of what's going to happen. So let's grab the Divinimation one first. Feeling this one for sure is like, pick me. Okay, so we have Mabelland, Dream Come True, Soft Illusion. Okay, so once again we have, and I always say this when I use this deck, I've been using it a lot lately in my readings. You might not kind of understand it if you don't know the show that this is referenced from, but just for a quick summary for those of you who are like, what the heck is Mabelland? It's basically a protective bubble. So once again, we do see the idea of being protected, of being safe somewhere. It even says like dream come true. So once again, that's just a reiteration. Pile one, protection and safety is coming. Okay. You will be moving away from whatever is making you feel kind of unsafe recently. All right. Let's see. We also have, let's do our tea leaves. So grab this here. And we'll kind of do a mishmash. Because this deck is very big. I can only shuffle just a part of it, so we'll take that. Let's see what else comes about with this. The horse, short journey. Interesting. Okay, we've got, oh boy. It's like every card wants to come out. Let's grab the two that fell at least after the horse one. So horse, we have dolphin, financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. Okay, so once again, we see material wealth or finances mentioned because, you had an abundance of pentacles in the past, right, pile one? But you also have it mentioned here in dolphin, financial gain. Okay, so it seems that resources will also be opening up for you in some way in terms of money. And then we also have whale, a great worry over nothing. So, pile one, your spirit guides might be saying that, like, they understand 100% why you're worried right now. They're not, like, chastising you for that. But at the same time, this whale card coming out almost tells me it's like they're kind of saying, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. This worry is going to alleviate itself very soon. Okay, great worry over nothing. And short journey, too, almost makes me think that maybe, this has only been occurring for like a short amount of time. And so it's just a reiteration of this is going to be just a short part of your life, whatever this problem is with authority and protection, things like that. And then we also have, actually, 3 more decks to get to. So let's grab your Citadel Oracle. Kind of just going one by one today. We have the Puppeteer with the element of water, explanations and apologies. You might even get an apology out of this, pile 1, of whoever might be overstepping their boundaries or like making you feel kind of unsafe, or like the situation that you've been put in, like people will apologize for, realizing, oh crap, this put pile 1 in a really bad situation. Like, I need to apologize for that. Okay. You also will probably get an explanation as to why it occurred in the first place. You'll kind of understand, especially with the element of it being like the puppeteer, right? We think of a puppeteer as someone that's pulling strings. So you might realize, oh, this is why someone was behind all this. And then they get outed, or like it's like explained as to why they set that in motion, or how it kind of came about. And then you'll be like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. So not only are you getting a relief from all this, pile 1, you're also getting an explanation and even maybe an apology for what happened. Which, you know, the best we can always hope for in a situation is just that a bad situation comes to an end, but it's even better when we can get an apology out of it too, when we've been wronged. So let's grab another card, the Dream Ritual Oracle this time. We have Prepare with the new moon. Prepare. Very interesting card. Prepare. You know, I think intuitively I'm being told, pile 1, this is even if it seems bleak right now that this problem will be solved, they're telling you to, at this point, start preparing for the steps you're going to need to take after this thing is cleared away, so that you're not kind of caught unawares. Like, I'm trying to think of a really tangible example, pile 1. Like, let's say you're waiting on the government for something, because that's another really good interpretation of, like, the fortress or the tower, okay? And you apply to the government for something, and you're kind of waiting on their go-ahead to take the next step, and so you've maybe been withholding some progress on that next step because you have to wait for this obstacle to clear first. I think with the speed at which this is going to actually clear through, your spirit guides are saying, just with this example, to, you know, and apply it all to your different situations, prepare for what you're going to have to do afterwards, because it's almost like you're going to have to hit the ground running because it clears faster than you're expecting it to. Does that kind of make sense, pile 1? Something like that. So keep your preparations in mind. Start preparing for the next tasks you have to do after this clears. And that will help you make this challenge go even like smoother, because it's like you'll already have gotten every step done ahead of time, and it can just, you know, turn this and do this thing, start this task right away after everything's been cleared. Okay. Then we also have the last deck with the Surrender card. And this is a fantastic deck. Highly underrated if you ask me. Surrender cards. Let's see. I feel like this one right here for you, pile 1, we have surrender your attachment to results. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. So this is just the one little advice card I wanted to pull for today, pile 1, on while you're waiting for this to kind of clear through. So you're being assured it's going to clear through. This protection, safety, authority thing is going to fix itself. But remember, in the meantime, in the interim, when you're worrying about the outcome, when you're worrying about this result, be wary of anxiousness over trying to control it going faster or the outcome occurring, because it's, and I say this a lot in my readings, there's a lot of times where when we're in a situation, actually all the time when we're in a situation, half of it is what we put in and half of it is what the universe puts in pile 1, right? If you've already done everything you possibly can to try to fix this, and I think you have, that's what I'm sensing, pile 1, now it's in the universe's hands. Like it says, the success is do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Okay? Let go of the results. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the journey as much as you can, even in the most frustrating aspects or steps of the way. Okay? Because the result is going to come no matter what. So worrying about it in the interim is just going to put more undue stress upon yourself. Okay. So let's see. Is there anything else here? I'm going to see if there's any other intuitive messages. Pile 1. And I think the Page of Pentacles, I know I explained it earlier right here as a card of exploring your choices, exploring your opportunities. And I think that kind of connects more as well to the prepare card, as I was saying before, when I was like, prepare for the next steps after this obstacle clears, because I think it's going to clear faster than you expect it to. This might even indicate that you've already been doing some of that, because it is before the present or the heart of the matter card with the Ace of Pentacles. But doing that even more will bring even that opportunity about faster to get past this blockage. And remember to lean into your power. I know I said that before as well, but with the Emperor being your near future, and also I kind of see this as an advice card as well, lean into that masculine energy with this pile 1. Don't let people walk all over you. Ask for what you need. Extend your power. I'm trying to think of other phrases that I would use. And your spirit guides are also saying something about, they're saying raise your staff. And I'm trying to think about how I would interpret that. Because in the traditional interpretation or depiction of the Emperor, usually he's holding like a rod or like a scepter. And it's a symbol of his authority. So I don't know if there's like some symbol of authority you could also, I don't want to say like wave around, but maybe sometimes you kind of have to wave around symbols of authority to get people to listen to you so they don't just like walk all over you or like try to bypass your comfort or like your protection, as I was saying before with that fortress that came out. So see if there is like a symbol of authority you could also use to try to get this to go smoother for you. For some reason, I'm hearing for some of you it's like showing a badge or like your level of authority. I almost wonder if for some of you too it's like a situation where someone's overstepping your authority, even though like you have the right to ask for or stand up for what you need because of your own position, but it's like they're not respecting that. So you kind of almost have to wave it around a little bit too, which I don't think is naturally in your nature, pile 1, but sometimes in life we do have to stand up and flash a badge in someone's face and say, hey, wait a minute, you can't walk all over me. I have this authority and you need to respect that. So that is another piece of advice your spirit guides are leaving for you today. Okay. Well, I hope that brought a lot of relief to you, pile 1. It seems like this has been really frustrating, especially because of that 8 of Cups. Like I said, it's like this feeling of, I just want to move on. I want this in my past. I want this to be done and gone yesterday, but it's not moving on yet. So with this reading, like I said, I hope that brings some relief to you. I hope that this reading also resonated, and I hope that you liked it. If you did like the reading, please like the video, please comment below, please subscribe if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide readings for both you and others in the future, as I always say. And yeah, that concludes your reading today. So I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile 1, with obstacles cleared, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 1. Hello there, pile number 2. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about a challenge clearing in your life and how it will be cleared. As you recall, the pile leader you chose was the very cute Hare. So we'll set your pile leader over here to the left, and let's begin the reading with both a Lenormand and tarot draw. So connecting to spirit today for the highest best good of pile 2. Could you please give us more insight into what challenge is clearing in their life soon? Thank you. So there is Leannan, and then let's grab our tarot deck for today. You know, it's very odd, pile 2. Sorry I was silent for a moment there. But I almost wonder if you've been having an issue with someone looking down on you recently. And that might not resonate with all of you, but I was getting imagery of some sort of like someone looking down on somebody. And so I wondered, I was like, is that part of the issue pile 2 is facing, or the challenge, I should say? Well, let's see more with your cards, but that is something that did come forward intuitively. We have the book from Lenormand. Okay, and the book in Lenormand represents knowledge or secrets. So it's maybe something that you're seeking in terms of knowledge or wanting to know something. A secret you want to know. And then we'll look at your tarot cards as well. The first one is the 10 of Cups. Very pretty. We have unicorns. 10 of Cups. Next up is the Seeker, or the Queen of Pentacles. Or no, I'm sorry, the Seeker is the Knight in this deck. Not the Queen, the Knight of Pentacles. There we are. 3 is Moon, reversed. We've got the Hare again. Or hares, I should say. There's multiple. Interesting that that popped up twice for you, pile 2. And we will talk about the meaning of your pile leader as well when we weave everything together, but then we have the Keeper, the King of Wands reversed. Okay. And last but not least, the Lovers reversed. All right. So yes, we have the intuitive message of, it feels like maybe someone has been looking down on you recently, pile 2. At least that's maybe one facet of the issue. And then the Hare itself, this card from the Folklore Oracle it's from, represents vitality as a key word. And what it means by vitality, it says pushing our boundaries in our body and our mind, or challenges that come along that really push us to the extent of our skills or our abilities. So I almost wonder if this situation is like this person has been kind of like either looking down on you, or you fear judgment of people looking down on you for something, and it's because of some task that's been set before you where you're trying to understand something, you're trying to find some knowledge or secret like the book talks about with Lenormand, and so far it's been evading you. You're like, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to find this information or get to the answer that I need. And I don't know too if maybe there's a bit of a time crunch with this that could also be putting some pressure on you, pile 2. But in either case, the reason why you're looking for this is because of, we have the 10 of Cups at the very beginning. And I want to say the 10 of Cups in this situation represents that there's a relationship involved, and then especially too, the Lovers having been the last card and then reversed, definitely feels like this is some sort of like interpersonal thing, not necessarily just it being, I got to get this task done, or this is a job thing. I mean, it could involve those particularly like material career focused pursuits, but I think the bigger concern in your mind I'm seeing here, pile 2, is more how will the relationships involved be affected. You want to keep something going, you want to keep something happy with the 10 of Cups, because the 10 of Cups is happiness and relationships, right? Things coming to fruition in the best way possible, like it's, a unicorn or 2 of them with the child with them, kind of like a happily ever after in terms of emotions. But it's been a struggle. You're like, I'm trying to find this thing. I'm trying to avoid judgment. I'm trying to keep relationships steady here. Okay, and it's been, like I said with the Hare, pushing you to the extent of your abilities. Maybe you're feeling kind of worn out, pile 2. Maybe you're feeling like, I don't know if I can handle this. I don't know if I'm good enough for this. I don't know, are people going to judge me? Things like that. So what I'm seeing in terms of the other cards, though, is we have the Knight of Pentacles right after the 10 of Cups with the Seeker of Boons here. And that tells me that after the initial task was set, with you trying to gain this knowledge, achieve this thing with a relationship, You've been working hard. And the Knight of Pentacles is especially about working hard in terms of slow and steady wins the race. Methodical, practical, careful. I almost wonder if you have an earth sign as your sun sign, pile 2, or in either case, maybe a lot of earth placements in general in your astrological charts, because Pentacles are the earth suit in tarot. And I feel like this Knight of Pentacles almost represents you. So you've been working hard on it. But then we get to the present, or the heart of the matter, as I call it, with the third card in a reading. And that is the moon reversed. And the moon reversed, my friend, represents an illusion shattered, or a truth revealed. Something that was not what it seemed. And the mirage. I was going to say oasis for some reason, I think, because mirages are associated with oases in the desert. But the mirage breaks away. And then boom, I realize something. And I think that's the moment at which you're going to find that knowledge that you've been looking for in regards to this goal you have, or like this relationship you've been working with or trying to mend or salvage, or at least like, I almost wonder if it's like you're trying to maybe even impress somebody. Maybe that's where the judgment fear comes in. But you're right on the cusp of that breaking, finding that knowledge, seeing the truth. But then in the future, and this is where there's a little bit of a twist to the reading, pile 2. We have the near future of the King of Wands reversed, and then the outcome of the Lovers reversed. I always say in tarot readings, timelines can change. You always have free will for most things in your life, pile 2, to change the outcomes of things. But what I'm hearing, and I hope a lot of people don't just run away from the reading because I'm saying this, but I want to be an honest tarot reader, as I always say. There's something about this realization and this truth that's not going to be what you expected, and it's going to kind of put the entirety of what you've been seeking around on its head. So like for just an example, and this might not resonate with 100% of you, but I'm just trying to illustrate what I mean. Say it's a situation where you are in a relationship with somebody, like say it's a friend of yours, and you have been trying to figure out something about them, some sort of knowledge or secret, because you want to know how, or that knowledge or that secret will help you kind of redefine, okay, where is this friendship going? You know, is there something that I need to be wary of with this person, or I want to like know this truth about them? And it's like the truth comes out with the moon reversed, and it completely puts on its head what goal you have in your mind with this. And that might be very different for every single one of you. But on the path you're on right now, the truth that you've been seeking ends in disharmony in relationships because you have the Lovers reversed as the outcome. Okay. So it is true that you're going to overcome the challenge of finding the truth that you're seeking, the goal you have in mind. But the real truth, or secret behind it all, pile 2, is a greater recontextualization of understanding about what really is the true nature of this relationship, or this task I've been set to, okay? And it might cause some disharmony in relationships, like I said, with that outcome. So that's at least on the timeline you're on right now. You have free will to change that. And of course, there are other things you can do to kind of, like how do you manage, maybe the truth not being exactly what you've been seeking, okay? And then 2, I didn't even talk about the King of Wands reversed is the near future. That's about lacking confidence in something. And I think that's the nature of what this truth that you find, which is the challenge you technically overcome, right? Getting back to the topic of the reading, it knocks your confidence in something, and I think that's what brings the disharmony. Okay. Maybe there was a misunderstanding. Maybe the nature of someone is not what it seemed, like I said. And, it's hard because in a reading like this, like, it's supposed to be like a relieving reading. That's kind of what I set out to do. But, sometimes when we're given readings like this, pile 2, where we're told that, yes, you're getting what you're seeking, but it might not end up exactly the way you expected. There's a bit of a plot twist. They're reaching out to you because they want you to know that this might be coming. Okay. I'm not saying that necessarily this Lovers reversed means, oh God, it's going to be a complete fallout and you're going to get in a big fight and you're going to hate each other or anything like that. Or it's going to be a complete, say it is related to a job more specifically. And it's not like, this whole thing is going to go complete to crap and everything's going to fall apart. Not, you didn't get the tower, pile 2. You didn't get a disaster, but There's something about this truth that's going to recontextualize everything. And really, another thing I'm hearing is that in the end, even if the truth you realize with the moon's illusion shattered in the middle here, right? Even if you realize something that isn't necessarily what you expected, in the end, it's better for you to know anyways. Okay. So, keep that in mind. Let's grab some more cards to get some more context, because I'm kind of interested here, and I'm hoping that there's even like more of a silver lining here, pile 2, because as I stated in the intro, I'm like, I want this reading to bring relief to our community, right? So, Spirit, anything else you want to say about this situation? I've been using the Gravity Falls deck a lot lately. We have Question Baby Corral, a place for legitimate questions and answers and presentation. So once again, we have like secrets with like questions and answers brought up here. Yeah, a place for legitimate questions and answers and presentation. It's like something is finally presented to you and you're like, oh, that's what that truth is. And I think too with, we're going a little bit back to the Hare pile eater, but with it stretching you to the utmost of your skills, I'm hearing something intuitively about you're going to also realize that you didn't have to push yourself so hard in the end anyways. But you are getting the answers you're seeking, pile 2. So if your challenge could be defined specifically as, I need to know something, that is going to clear. Let's see. Let's grab the Citadel Oracle next. I was going to do that one later, but I want to see more about with this deck. Oh, well, that was quick. Okay. The card just floop. Let's grab this one. We have, man, pile 1 had this one too. Odd. So we have the Puppeteer with the element of water, explanations and apologies. What an odd card. But we do see truth. We see revelation because there's the eye with the ray of lights coming out of it. Or excuse me, rays, plural, of light. And explanations and apologies. Yeah, it's like you're gonna see the full truth, but it's one of those situations where you're like, I don't know, maybe I didn't want to know the truth in the end anyways. But it's like, pile 2, at the same time, it was really good for you to know. Or it's good for you to know the full truth, okay? Like, your spirit guides are reassuring me, like, pile 2 is going to be okay. They're going to be happier in the end that they realize this. So really the challenge, I think, should be recontextualized, pile 2, to more of a, how would I put it? The challenge of overcoming an illusion breaking. Okay. And then explanations, things will be explained. We also have apologies. I think you might even get an apology for something, pile 2. I think it's going to end up in someone apologizing in the end anyways. So that's another silver lining, that even if this creates a disharmony in a relationship, you're going to have more knowledge that you need, and you might even get someone feeling sorry for something. Okay. Which is also like a silver lining, because it's like, hey, at least, someone kind of feels bad for the truth in the end. And then I'm also going to get some tea leaves. Let's grab the tea leaf deck. Ooh, I am not shuffling this very well. There we go. It did shuffle, just wasn't my best shuffle ever. We have the cane. Pay attention to your health, which is interesting because we also had the Hare was talking about vitality. I don't know if maybe this relationship or this task has been affecting your emotional, mental, maybe even physical health, pile 2, because there's something, like when we're really stressed out, that can manifest in so many different ways in our body. Like you can bunch up your shoulders and get like muscle tension. You can get literal, like stress and anxiety can cause health issues, things like that. So if you've been having like more mental, I'm hearing insomnia for a lot of you for some reason, pile 2. But in general, if you've been having a lot of like mental, emotional, or maybe even physical health problems recently, I think it has been because of this. And like the truth being unveiled is going to help you finally like relieve some of those health symptoms. Okay. And then I'm also seeing broken ring, which, I'm really sorry, pile 2 is just a reiteration of what I have been seeing. Okay. Parting of the ways in either romance or business. I do think that there is some sort of, and this is kind of like what the Lovers Reversed was all about, disharmony in a relationship, and specifically like broken ring is like a parting of the ways, as it says. So I think, but at the same time, pile 2, it's better in the end for this to have come out. Okay, it's better for it to have come out. Ooh, tough reading today, pile 2. But at the same time, I think when you look back on this in the far future, you're going to be like, okay, I'm glad that that truth came about. I'm glad that something was revealed to me. And then we have awaken. You look at that. Remember I was talking about before? I was like, I think some of you have been dealing with even insomnia because of this. So we have like a little bit of a reiteration of like a sleep awake type thing with that. But awaken 2, pile 2 is about awakening to something that we were asleep on before. Like, there's just like massive energy in this reading about opening eyes. I mean, you even have the awakening, and then you have like the eye opening and the puppeteer in the palm of the hand. You know, are the lovers even falling asleep? They kind of are. They're resting in the glade on the tree. And then same thing with the unicorns. They're kind of like laying down to sleep. And it's odd because it's almost like in the beginning, the unicorns were like going to sleep. And in the end, it's like the lovers are waking up. So this whole transition process is like a whole, you know, being asleep towards being awake to something. Kind of a cool symbolism there, pile 2. And let's grab the final card. We have the Power of Surrender. I just like to use this deck a lot for kind of advice. So let's see what advice spirit guides have for you today. Okay, we have... All right, so pile 2, surrender the idea that you can fix someone. It says it is time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. So this is kind of shaping more of the situation in my mind, pile 2. I think, yes, I was right at the very beginning with my intuition. This is definitely, even if it technically is like an outside goal that you have that's not related to or like specifically about a relationship, there's something about this goal that will affect a relationship. You know, we talked about the Ten of Cups, we talked about the lovers, we talked about all of this, you know, like the partnership breaking with the broken ring. And then now we got this too. Surrender the idea you can fix someone. So I don't know if maybe part of the reason why you were asleep before with this was because it was like, oh, this is a situation I can fix. You know, I just need to find the answer. Like with the book about being secrets and knowledge. And then even the question Baby Corral is about like a place for legitimate questions and answers, you know, things like that. It's the path you've taken towards finding an answer to fixing the problem, or maybe even fixing someone specifically, is what will realize or bring you to the realization and the answer of, oh, this is the truth of this. Maybe I can't fix this. Maybe it's healthier for me to not fix this and stress myself out so much and extend myself to the extent of my skills and my capabilities and my energy, like with the Hare. Because remember the Hare, your pile leader is all about vitality and health. And we even had health come up again with Cain, about pay attention to your health. Really focus when you're trying to overcome this challenge, pile 2. How is it affecting you mentally, emotionally, and physically to keep searching for this or keep trying to overcome this challenge? I think you'll find the answer. We've had that reiterated a lot. But I think the answer is one that you weren't expecting. It's one that maybe you didn't 100% desire, pile 2, but it's a necessary answer in order for you to heal, in order for the other people involved to heal. And there's also a really common message here across many of the cards about self-preservation and taking care of yourself first before you take care of others. Okay, and we also have awakening, opening our eyes to something. instead of walking through with our eyes shut. So, to summarize pile 2, I know I said in the intro of this video, I want this reading to be a relief to you, and I think in the end, this will be a relief when you look back at it retrospectively. But at the same time, it seems like this challenge to be overcome, and it will be overcome soon, I'm hearing that, might lead to a little bit of a rockiness for a bit when you're dealing with this whole relationship thing after the truth is revealed or the illusion is kind of broken about something. And though it might be a little rocky, and what I'm hearing is it's that phrase of, sometimes a bone has to be broken to be reset and healed correctly. So yeah, there might be a little bit of a bone break, but metaphorically speaking, but it will heal better in the end, okay? And like I said, we didn't get the tower in this reading. I don't see a major disaster or anything, so I don't want you to walk away from this reading like panicking and be like, oh my god, holy crap, like my whole world is going to be turned around. I'm not seeing that pile 2, but I am seeing there's something about maybe a parting of ways with a relationship after you attain this goal, after the challenge is overcome. And then that brings that next challenge, but then there's a relief at the very end of that tunnel, a light at the end of that tunnel of everything that's been going on after your eyes are opened, okay? So, hopefully most of you stuck to the end of this reading and didn't run away the moment I was like, oh, there was a little bit of a negative aspect here. But if you did, and if you liked the reading, and if it resonated, pile 2, please like the video, please comment, please subscribe if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile 2, with lots of healing in your future, with truths that help mend broken things, okay? And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 2. Hello there, pile number 3. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about clearing a challenge in your life and how it will be cleared. As you recall, your pile leader today was the very beautiful Hawk. And as always, we'll set our pile leader over here to the left to begin the reading and start with Lenormand and some tarot today to gain more clarity about what is the challenge that is clearing. So, calling on all beings with interest in pile 3 for their highest, best, good ancestor spirit guides. What is the challenge being cleared? If you're drawn to this one, and let's draw your tarot cards, pile 3. Okay. That was very fast. We've got 4 at least already, and I think I'm going to draw this one as well. So let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, and then it was this one, and 5. So let's reveal your Lenormand card to begin. You received the Heart. And the Heart, pile 3 in Lenormand, represents matters of the heart. Romance, things that we love, things that we adore. People that love us. Could also technically mean something to do with romance. That is another interpretation of the Heart in Lenormand. And then let us unveil your tarot cards for more context. Number 1, we have the Magician, literally number 1 in tarot. Something about manifesting something. We want something to come about. Something we're trying to bring to fruition. We've got number 2, the Tower. Okay, so I think pile 3, there was something you were trying to do and then bam, it didn't work out. Because the Tower can represent a disaster of some sort, something failing, something falling. Just like it's like the very top of this dead tree house that's kind of just cracking down to the left here. Then we have the 5 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so I can tell you, pile 3, that despite the setback you recently had, because this is the near past card right here with the Tower. You have the Heart of the Matter, or the Present, with the Five of Pentacles reversed, and that tends to represent overcoming a time of hardship or poverty because it's in reversed. So I can guarantee you that some hardships are coming to an end related to you trying to bring something about, and then there was a disaster of some sort. And then near future, we have the Page of Pentacles reversed. And last but not least, we have the King of Wands reversed. King of Wands reversed is an outcome. Something about exploring and needing more confidence. So let's look at your cards in totality here. And I'm also just going to take a drink for my voice, pile 3, for just a second. You know, pile 3, what's really coming forward, and I'm saying this because not only the meaning of your Hawk card, but because of the Magician being the first card in this spread. The Hawk in the Folklore Oracle represents focus. Because even when you just think about what are hawks good at, they have very, very good eyesight. That's how they hunt. And in many different cultures, they were associated with being able to see things very clearly, being creatures that have a sharp, well, focus, once again. I'll just kind of reiterate that keyword, okay? And so I think because of the Magician being next to it as the first card, and you even have an owl in that one too, and owls are also very good at seeing things, or also hearing things, paying close attention to things. You were so dedicated and so intensely focused on getting something done that I think why that disaster or mistake came about in the past was because you were looking too closely at one detail and not enough at other details around it. Okay, because that's what your focus card with the Hawk really means, is that it's a piece of advice to take a moment and instead of looking at just one little piece of something, look at all of the other pieces around it. See it as a landscape instead of just one little piece of prey to focus on in the field, using the Hawk again as a metaphor. Because the Hawk might see a piece of prey and then dive down towards it and try to catch it. And say that the piece of prey eludes its grasp, its talons. And it thinks, well, oh crap, how come I miss that piece of prey? I was so heavily focused on that piece of prey, I should have gotten it. I was right on top of it. But what it didn't realize is that maybe, using the metaphor again, behind the piece of prey, there was another predator around. Say, I don't know, a bobcat is coming to mind for some reason. And the piece of prey saw the bobcat and was running away from that. And that's why, right at the moment the Hawk dove for it, the prey was already out of its reach, because maybe it didn't even notice the Hawk. It didn't even notice you. It was running away from something else. But because the Hawk was so focused on that one thing, pile 3, it didn't realize there was another thing chasing away that prey. It didn't realize there was another factor at play. Okay, so I know that was kind of an extended metaphor using the Hawk, but that's kind of what I'm seeing here for you, pile 3, is I think why that came about was because you were looking at one piece, focused so heavily on one thing, you didn't see the landscape around you. Okay, but the good news is that your hardship with this is soon coming to an end. Like I said, you have that 5 of Pentacles as the heart of the matter, and especially reversed, it is a very good sign, pile 3. Things are going to clear. The hardship is going to go away. Especially if there's something money related, because the 5 of Pentacles, being the Earth suit, is related to finances and career, though we do have an element of love here with your heart card. And I know I said earlier it could mean relationships, but it could also apply to some of you as in this was a mistake made or a disaster that happened in a realm of something that you love, in like a skill or a hobby or like a job related matter. Okay, like say you really love, say you make music and you really love making music. It's the best thing in the world. You live and breathe it from the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you sleep. And so it extra wounded your heart when maybe, say, you released a piece of music and it kind of fell flat, didn't really get the impressions or, you know, the traction that you wanted it to. That's some way that, for some of you, if it's not relationship related, that this heart can manifest. So whatever it is that you've been really focused on lately, okay? Yes, it's coming to an end. The hardship's coming to an end. But what's interesting, pile 3, is that in the near future, we have the Child of Pentacles, or I should say Page of Pentacles, reversed. And that tells me that as a piece of advice in the near future, yes, it's clearing, but look more at the opportunities and the details around you, okay? Because this indicates a need to, especially in the realms of finance or career, or at least when it comes to like gaining success or wealth. Yeah, I won't repeat it too much because it's just a reiteration of looking at the whole landscape instead of looking at just one fine detail. Okay, because I mean, even the way that you look at the way that the boy is staring at this house made of candy, he's really focused kind of just on the house itself and not the forest around him. And it reminds me of the story of Hansel and Gretel. And if I'm remembering correctly, it's been a very long time since I read that fairy tale or that folk tale. They were drawn in by the candy of the house, but they didn't realize that there was a witch inside that ate children. Okay, like that was kind of the moral of the story, was be aware of things that seem too good to be true, right? And so as you go forward, don't just pay attention to overall landscape details outside of your main focus. Pay close attention to things that maybe seem too good to be true, okay? Because that might have been also another reason why, you know, this mistake occurred or something eluded your grasp, right? In terms of an ambition you were reaching for, okay? And then the outcome, you have the King of Wands reversed. And as an outcome, a King of Wands reversed can indicate, it could represent a person, as the court cards do sometimes, where a King of Wands reversed is someone who either lacks charisma or they lack confidence in something. That could even represent you, pile 3. Maybe, you know, even though the hardship will clear soon, the setback seems like maybe it really will knock your confidence, and then it's like the next challenge to overcome is becoming confident again in your ability, right? It could also represent as an outcome, like this was a lesson from your life path and everything, you know, kind of that you were meant to learn in terms of being too overconfident about something. Like we used with the example of the hawk being so confident, I'm going to catch that piece of prey, but it was so confident, maybe it slipped up a little bit and didn't notice the other factors at play. Okay. So this reading isn't just a reassurance that, yes, it'll clear. You'll see some success soon with that 5 of Pentacles reverse, but it's also a little bit of a nudge of this happened for a reason. It wasn't just a disaster to make you miserable. It wasn't like it was something out of your, like, I don't want to say like out of your control, pile 3, but it's just one of those moments in life where we were supposed to learn a lesson. And like I said, in your situation, that lesson was don't be too confident about something. Okay. And then I do want to draw one more Lenormand card on how exactly the hardship is overcome. Because we are moving on to the Oracle cards here. Also, just as advice cards and also more details. But I do want to get just a Lenormand for a very blunt answer on that. So Spirit for pile 3, how does the hardship overcome? One card, please. Okay, well, this one is very prominent. We have the tree, the holly tree, which is interesting. We have the tree here with the tower. So the tree is all about family. It's all about our health. It's about our roots being grounded. And specifically, the holly tree can sometimes mean stagnation in a way, pile 3, because it is the winter variety of tree in this particular Lenormand deck. Okay. And so reading that as in how does the hardship be overcome, right? I want to say it's either through family, like maybe a family member comes through and helps you, either getting your confidence back, or if like even there was like a financial setback, it might be a family member that steps up and helps you. Or it could also mean that like because it's the nature of a tree in stagnation, that soon, and especially because of the time I'm uploading this, which is at the very cusp of winter into spring here, at least in the northern hemisphere, it's like things are just going to kind of naturally thaw soon in terms of the luck of the universe towards you. So it may be more even a divine timing message as well, pile 3. The hardship is overcome through divine timing. But yes, I do see maybe a family element there because of the tree. Okay. So let's grab your other cards as well. Let's get more details. Let's get some more advice. Let's see what's going on here. So, you know, especially right now, pile 3, if you're kind of devastated over this tower moment, just know that, like, it's not going to last forever. And we have, look at that, Seuss. And if you're not familiar with the show that this deck is from, this is basically just one of the main characters. Helpful, friendly, loyal, ambitious. And that's another thing with this character is, like, he's just, like, a really good friend, right? So, once again, I don't know if it's either, like, your family or found family in some way, because this character also represents found family. They're going to, like, help you out of this. They're going to help you clear this. And too, with it being ambitious, I wonder if it's someone that you get along with really well at work, if it's not family, because this character is also just like an employee at the business in the show. So something along those lines, but it is a person. And they're very loyal to you. They're very helpful to you. And I mean, it feels like they're the kind of person that would just give you the shirt off their back. But in either case, I think that's more context on how this gets cleared, or like the hardship is overcome. It's like that person coming through and saying, hey, wait a minute, you need some help. I'm gonna lend you a hand. Okay. They see your struggle and they understand, you know, it wasn't your fault, pile 3. Let's grab the Citadel Oracle next. Some more context for everything. Okay, well, that was fast. Yeah, sometimes I'll shuffle a whole deck and nothing falls out, and then I'll shuffle a deck and boom, right away. We have the Merchant. The element of, this is Earth again, right? Self-worth and trade. Yeah, so I don't know if it's like a business-related thing, pile 3, or it could also be you were trying to trade something and it was just a bad trade, maybe even an investment, maybe even like you paid for something and you realized, oh man, oh, that was a bad thing to buy. Like I found it cheaper somewhere else. Or, you know, we even have a tree reiterated here too, because, and this one is a holly tree, but this is an apple tree in this particular card. But, you know, self-worth is also mentioned. And once again, that's like that confidence with that King of Wands reversed at the end here, pile 3. Your self-worth is a really big factor in everything going on. And this is a test of your self-worth. That even after a time of what might even seem like a disaster, you know how to carry on and not let it knock your confidence so much. And I think this person helps you with that as well. They might even give you some context into, hey, wait a minute, pile 3, why are you blaming yourself so hard when it was this factor out of your control? Like, that you maybe just kind of didn't notice. Like, as I said before, like in the hawk example with the hawk goes after the prey, doesn't realize there's another predator around that scared it away faster. Okay. Something along those lines. Let's grab your tea leaves as well. Yeah, maybe business, buying something, exchanging money. And I'm just realizing too, to hawk something means to literally like to sell something. I guess it's like a negative connotation of it, but like hawking. Look at the tree. Look at that. The tree came up again. And it means the same thing it means in Lenormand, pile 3. Affairs with your family. So I'm pretty sure pile 3, like if the tree in Lenormand already wasn't a confirmation, boom. There's something with your family coming about, and I think your family's going to help you. Okay. I actually want to grab 2 of them for you. Let me do the other half of the tea leaf reading cards here. I always have to split the deck in 2 because it's just a very, very chunky deck. Any more context, Spirit, for pile 3? Yeah, it's like a friend comes along, and then we've got fire. And that is reflective of that heart you had earlier. Strong emotion, passionate love, or hate. Not only have a tree, we've got fire. something you love to do, something you're passionate about. But that can also mean that this family member is also passionate about helping you, or like I said, it could be found family as well. Maybe not even a blood tie, but a really good friend, pile 3. A strong emotion, fire. Yeah, what an interesting card. You know, and I for some reason, pile 3, I'm really drawn to the myth of Icarus in this situation. And Icarus, if you're not familiar, I think was a Greek myth where he is always used as an example of too high of ambition or not paying attention to things, because what happened is that he was trying, I think it was him and his father were trying to fly away from a tower to escape. And his father had collected feathers every single day. Speaking of the hawk, right? And the father had told Icarus, after constructing these wings out of wax and the feathers from the candles that they had in there and the feathers that they collected, be careful. If you fly too close, or too low, I should say, to the ocean, you're going to drown. If you fly too high, the sun will melt the wax in your wings and you'll fall and die to your death, right? And what did Icarus do? Icarus flew too close to the sun and then he died. Okay. So for some reason, maybe it's the prevalence of the fire along with the hawk. I'm drawn to talking about that myth with you, pile 3. And I almost wonder if part of your high focus was that you were aiming too high. And in that case, it's not really your fault, pile 3, that it went wrong. It's just that maybe you weren't ready for it. You know, maybe you were so focused on one aspect, and once again, I'm repeating, but it's like you're so focused on one aspect you didn't realize, oh, I'm flying too close in this direction. Uh-oh. So let's see what else these other cards have to say. We've got patience. Yes, patience. Look at that. Being patient with things. Maybe you're a little bit impulsive too, pile 3. Maybe you wanted it to go a lot faster. And it's like the universe is saying, you're going to get it. That hardship will be overcome, but you need to be patient about it. As hard as it is, pile 3. And I get that. I'm impatient myself with things sometimes. I want things just to happen like that. Especially in terms of, you know, things I'm passionate about. So I get where you're coming from, pile 3, if that resonates with you. But it's also a lesson in waiting for things. And things taking longer to kind of cook, so to speak. Let the universe cook, right? And then we also have an advice card in terms of the surrender deck. Let's see, this one right here. Surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. So it's kind of an odd card to get for this, pile 3. But in terms of like a lasting piece of advice for going forward, even after the hardship is cleared here, I almost want to say the silence to me intuitively is something about being more quiet when you're being hard on yourself over what happened. Like the silence you're being asked to do is to be more silent when it comes to self-criticism. Because self-criticism can be really good, pile 3, in terms of realizing, okay, I made a mistake. Now I need to fix it. Where did I go wrong? How do I fix this thing? That's fantastic. But then on the other hand, sometimes people go a little bit too hard on self-criticism and they beat the crap out of themselves verbally in terms of, I suck. Oh God, I'm not good at this. Oh my God, my confidence is completely just wrecked and ripped apart. Meditate on what happened. Silence too much self-doubt. Silence too much self-criticism. Okay. And be patient. Because I do see, like I said, it's clearing. I think a family member or a found family member, close friend, will come along and fix this with you. They'll help you maybe see what you didn't see. Like the hawk not seeing the other predator when it was chasing the prey. And remember, this is a test of confidence. So keep your confidence up, pile 3. Just because we make a mistake doesn't mean we'll do it again next time. I mean, okay, think of in the goal that you are seeking. Think of someone who is really good at the thing that you want to be or do or become. Is there any possible way that they never, ever made a mistake themselves on their own path? Like, let's say we'll use the music example again. For some reason, I'm drawn to Michael Jackson. Do you think Michael Jackson never made a mistake? Like, there's no way. Everybody makes mistakes, pile 3. And despite that, he still was the king of pop. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, please don't let this get you down, pile 3. Please be patient with yourself as well. And know that help is on the way in terms of a loyal friend of some sort, probably most likely from your family. You are meant for this. You are good enough. Just keep trying. Keep up your hope. Keep up your self-confidence. And things will work out in the end here with this challenge, okay? So that is what I will leave you with, my wonderful pile number 3. I hope the reading was helpful and I hope it resonated. I hope you liked it. And if so, please like the video itself. Please comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And please subscribe if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 3.